We're standing on the remnants of what was once a speakeasy hidden in the hills of the Crescenta Valley. I'm Olivia Smith, and in this episode of Hidden History, we're going to be teaching you all about Verdugo Lodge. We're outside here in La Crescenta, and we are standing in front of, what is it, Mike?
It's a former speakeasy.
So what's the history behind it?
Okay, so back up a long ways here. Back in the 20s and 30s when prohibition was going on, actually La Crescenta was kind of a hotbed of moonshining and bootlegging and that kind of thing, because we were close enough to Hollywood to attract all the stars and all the entertainment people, but we were far enough away where, the lodge wasn't really interested in going this far out. People from Hollywood, rich people, could come here and drink, and then they could go and, play tennis, play golf. There's barbecues. There's actually a fish cleaning station. And one of the ways that they financed all this was to sell people what they called tent lots. It was kind of almost like a timeshare kind of thing. What you did is you bought this little 10-foot by 10-foot piece of land here, and that gave you entry into the lodge. The city considers these illegal subdivisions. That has, in a sense, kind of saved it, because it's been hard for any developer to cobble enough of these little tent lots together to actually develop the property. So let's go inside and take a look. We're headed up to where the chauffeurs would have taken their guests up, and then they would have circled back around and they would have waited at the chauffeur station.
So would you say that the people coming, the clientele, were the elite?
Yeah, celebrities were coming here. Well, there's no record of that at all. There's no record of who came here and, what they did, and that's all under the table.
It's an interesting idea that this was a great speakeasy at the time because it was far enough away from Hollywood.
Right.
And part of that was transportation at the time, right? It was more difficult to get to Hollywood. Today it takes, 20 minutes from here?
Right.
So what was that like at the time?
Well, so, all the pedestrian guys like me, we were all taking the rent car down to Hollywood, right?
Story on the red car.
Yeah, right. So we were all on trolleys and buses and things like that. But the big stars and the production guys, the guys that had some money, they have big cars. Here we have places where they park cars, and here's the pathway going up, and it's lost in the overgrowth now.
So these walls are more than 100 years old.
Yeah, oh yeah, really. They were built in the 20s. Yeah.
When I think speakeasy, I think hidden in the basement.
Right. No, this was not hidden at all.
I guess you were hidden enough being in the woods.
This was the hidden part. We were far outside of LA.
So now we're making our way up the mountain to where the lodge was at.
Right.
But first we're going to pass.
We're going to pass the swimming pool. After it was a speakeasy and it became, part of the Cadmus family's resort, King Mountain Oaks, this was available on the weekends. It was called the Crescenta Valley. So here it is right here.
Wow, we're really gonna get to it here. I'm almost what's living in there?
Yeah, this is the locker room. It's the men's locker room down there.
Wow, that used to be the men's locker room.
Yeah, right. You came up through that stairway in the middle. The high dives are right here, and the kids could play on this side. Now, off above us here were the grandstands, and there's still wreckage of them up in there. Benches and things like that are overgrown now. Here's the entrance to the lodge.
Wow.
I love that it's still here. I can't believe it's still here.
I know. I wish the lodge itself was still here. Now think about this. The chauffeur would have pulled up right here, dropped off his guests, and they would have walked up this grand staircase to the lodge.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Isn't this amazing? And what an incredible view there must have been.
I'm astounded. The pictures did not do this justice.
Yeah.
This is massive.
Now we got this great newspaper account of a raid here. And the cops showed up 3 a.m, and they said this place was packed. They estimated there were 500 people in this lodge at that time. They said the dance floor, they busted through the doors 3 a.m, and the dance floor was just solid. There was a big bar on the side. The lights went out, and everybody started diving out windows and doors. And Then they went upstairs. They got all the gambling stuff. They didn't arrest any of the patrons. They only arrested the people that were running the operation. They probably knew about this place for a long time. It was when Prohibition was almost over. It was like March of 1933 or something. You know, Prohibition was going to end in just a few months. Late 60s, it started to become abandoned. And after that, they tore this place down because it was considered a public nuisance.
So where are we now?
So now we're in the basement. There would have been a boiler right there.
Got it.
Yeah, so they were probably making the alcohol here as well.
Oh, I didn't even see those steps. They were just hiding in the ivy. Are there any snakes back here, Mike?
How could I know?
Uh-oh.
And it looks like people still come up here and drink.
The theme continues.
The theme continues, so they shouldn't, but
What years of decades?
this would have been, gosh, probably 40s, 50s. Yeah, that era. And then next we had the pot top. And this would have been the 60s and 70s. From speakeasy and illegal drinking to illegal drinking on private property.
Now we're on the other side.
All right.
So this is the first floor.
Yeah, we're on the first floor. And these would have been offices.
Offices, okay.
And then next door to us, there's the big fireplace. And then next to that would have been the bandstand.
This is beautiful.
Isn't that a gorgeous fireplace?
Look at this stone.
I know.
It's really, it's stunning. We're going behind the fireplace. Oh, this was the bathroom.
Here's the old linoleum.
So was this on the floor?
Yeah, right.
You think it was from when it was a
I think
speakeasy?
so, yeah.
So
There was a dance floor here.
There was a dance floor here, but there's another dance floor down outside.
An outside dance floor. It's fun, huh?
Summertime.
Yeah.
There's a bandstand there. So there used to be a lot more trees here. Now let me tell you the timeline here. You know, originally this was the golf course, right?
Right.
And then after the Catlets bought it, they started letting it just grow up with the trees. There were oak trees, the sycamores. In the 80s, a developer, one of these many developers that had a hand in it, he thought, you know, if I make it ugly, then people won't want to preserve it. So he came in here on a Saturday and they just started at one end and they just started cutting down trees as quick as they could before the residents came out with guns and had stopped them with their guns. And the police came and stopped the whole thing. And the Glendale City Council, under pressure, made the oak tree.
that's why you can't cut down any oak trees.
Because it was because of this incident.
Because of this.
I call it the
Wow.
Battle of Mountain Oaks. Okay, so here we come onto the outdoor dance floor. Over here we have the outdoor barbecue, and we had the bandstand over here. Can you imagine a hot summer night, having some jazz out here, doing some dancing on the old dance
Wow.
floor?
I love that there were two dance
Out in
floors,
the
an indoor
summer.
one and an outdoor one, to give
Yeah.
people the variety.
Yes, exactly.
We're here with Roger Fearden, who is the former HOA president of Mountain Oaks and also a resident. What's it like living here?
It's wonderful. There's no other place like it. And I'm originally from Texas, so I love the outdoors. And to me, I always describe this as being magical.
It's technically an illegal subdivision, so no, it can't be built upon anymore.
No, it can't. They're not issuing any permits.
Tell us about the wildlife that you're trying to protect here.
Oh, we have tons of deer. We have regular visits by bear. We have mountain lion. Bobcat are everywhere.
There's a deer.
There's one there. That's one of the little ones.
I can't believe we just saw a deer. It's just speaks perfectly to your point about the wildlife. And we're so close to LA, 15 minutes from downtown, 20
Right.
minutes from Hollywood.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing to even think that we have friends that have lived in LA all their life and come here, and they can't imagine what we have here. Utility people that worked in this area all their life that didn't know this was here. I mean, we don't want any more development in here. I mean, go develop somewhere else. We're not being selfish at all. We don't think so. We're trying to save this for the sake of history.
We're here with Joanna Linkhorst, president of Friends of Rockhaven. Joanna, tell us about this area. And we're standing here in front of the band where the bands used to play.
Yes, the bandstand. Oh my goodness. So I grew up in this area, and just to be able to have a place of quiet and history like this on the edge of all the big sprawling suburban areas, it's magical. If some entities get it, they would have to get rid of the ruins because of safety issues and that sort of thing. I'm really hoping that it doesn't have to be taken out or fenced off, and so that everybody can continue to enjoy what is left behind here and think about the way things used to be 100 years ago.